Hey guys, HP here. Welcome back to another Hot Books review. For today's drink, I have some hot coffee with me today. Excitingly enough, today's book review is going to be on my first book that I finished in 2022, as well as my collab book with Nunchi. If you didn't watch my first and last TBR video of 2021, I mentioned that I'm also doing a collab with another small booktuber named Nunchi Goya. The collab was basically we were going to exchange one book from our TBR list and we were going to do a review on it at the end of the month. It is no longer December. We are actually halfway in January, so what in my right mind did I think it was a genius idea to do a collab where I read 2 books in a month? It was just not possible. But it's never too late, so here we are. So the book that I suggested for my TBR was Bright Star by Erin Swan. Whenever Nunchi gets a chance, I'll make sure to leave her link down below so you guys can check out her review and see what her thoughts were on it. So yeah, let's get on with the video. First and foremost we have is the cover design, and I'm going to be giving this a 4 out of 5. I like everything about it. I actually picked this book up because of the cover. The only reason why I'm giving this 1 point less is because I do wish that the back looked a little different. The dragon back here is actually a close-up of the dragon in front, so I do wish that was different, but overall I really like how it looks and I have nothing more to say. So for our plot, our main girl Andrea, she is a servant under a contract paying off her father's debt to the judges. At the manor that she is at, traumatic events lead her to be mute. She ends up escaping when a team of assassins led by a guy named Kale basically kidnaps her and brings her back to their secret rebellion group. This rebellion group, they're basically just outcasts who also are believers in seeking to overthrow the chief judge as well as replacing the corrupted government with new members. Andrea, who was once an outcast to herself, and with her loyal dragon by her side, she may be the answer that this group needed to lead them into victory. My favorite part about this whole book was how well the dragons were written. These dragons, they're not pets, they're not destructive creatures, but they have their own personality, and I just love the connection that these dragons have with their writers. My only, I guess, complaints is the story's pretty cliche. Like, nothing about it is different or unique, and it's also very surface level writing. When magic gets involved, she does a really good job in explaining what's going on and how the magic is working, so that in itself is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But surface level writing in the sense that when something is brought up that is dark or like deep or traumatic, you don't really get like details. There's not much depth that goes into it. You understand what they're implying and what they mean, but we don't get like details, or it doesn't go in depth with anything. It's just very surface level, very like general, but you understand what's going on and the storyline does still flow. But it is something that I realized when I was reading. It's just very surface level. Everything that I just mentioned wasn't anything serious enough for me to get this book less points, but the reason why I'm giving the book a 4 out of 5 is because of the way how it ended. It's not like that, so don't come to the conclusion that the ending of the book is going to be bad so you don't want to read it anymore. Let me explain. The ending is just misleading. That's the word. It's misleading. This book is a standalone, so let me just quickly put that out there. I am pretty sure that the author is not going to make a sequel, but legit the last like 10 pages of the book was the perfect setup for a second book to happen. But I'm pretty sure this book is going to be a standalone, so that was a little bit confusing and misleading. Not the ideal way to end a book in my opinion, but overall I love the storyline, so it wasn't a big deal. And I especially love the characters, which I'm going to be giving a 5 out of 5. Let me just say, the character growth in this book is so good. Their growth is such a smooth and gradual transition that I feel like, especially with debut novels, that's very hard to do. I feel like a lot of the times what ends up happening is the character will have a lot of trauma, like years worth of trauma, but the moment that their love interest says anything along the lines of, "I'm proud of you,
I believe in you, I know you can fight through this,"
all of those years worth of trauma that they couldn't do it on their own just goes out the door and they can like conquer the world. And I'm just like,
that's not how it works, sweetheart.
it's just very unrealistic in my opinion, and I'm not a big fan of it. But this book is very gradual. Also, I'm obsessed with Kale, so you can't tell me otherwise. He is part of my top 5 book boyfriend list. And yeah, overall, I'm going to be giving this book a 10 out of 10. I think altogether, this book is just a very well-rounded book. Nothing about the book is like terribly bad, but it's also not overly amazing. It's just very well-rounded. It's definitely a perfect beginner book if you want to get yourself involved into fantasy. Even for me, this was actually my first time reading a book where the main fantasy creature are dragons. I'm very used to like the werewolves, vampires, witches, you know, all the basic stuff. But this one was very different. And let me just say, I I fell in love with dragons. I'm very glad that I purchased a couple fantasy books where it revolves around dragons, because let me just tell you, I am definitely gonna read more. So that was it for my book review of Bright Star. If you guys have any recommendations where the book revolves around dragons, drop them down below, because your girl's definitely gonna try reading them all. It doesn't have to be young adult, it can be adult books, it can be a new adult, it can be whatever you want. I'm definitely gonna try reading them, so just
Give it all to me.
so that was it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and make sure to listen to them, and I'll see you guys next time with HB. Bye!
Take it to the curb.